Hello, I'm Malcolm Love, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the FENS Forum 2022 here in the amazing Paris Convention Centre at the Porte de Versailles. In these podcasts, we're going to be trying to give you a flavour of the forum events for each day, and we're here in Pavilion 7, which is where all our events are taking place. And as I look out from here, very, very busy floor with people coming and going, registering, going to set up their posters and their exhibitions, finding out where various talks will be given, trying to find something to eat. And if you just look out of the windows here, you can see that iconic symbol of Paris, the Eiffel Tower, the Tour Eiffel, and of course many of the delegates here will be in between the events that they really want to see. We'll try and find some time just to go the short distance to get into the city itself and sample that. Well, we're going to be sampling the conference itself here, the FENS Forum, and so it's going to be a matter of trying to catch very busy people running around as best we can. So we've done some interviews in advance. Two of the busiest people are Angela Roberts and Alain Chedotel. Angela is the chair of the program committee, and Alain is the chair of the host society here in France. And of course they've had the main, I say headache, but I'm sure it's also a great pleasure as well as a challenge of organising the FENS Forum. So I wanted to find out what it was exactly that they were looking forward to and how they felt. And I began by talking to Alain, who seemed palpably relieved.
Of course, for us it was kind of always something above us, like, are we going to have it like in person or hybrid or just like virtual completely? So we're very happy now that it's going to be in person. And we also have like 8,000 participants, so it's going to be the best attendance ever for the FENS Forum. So we know at least we did a good job in terms of putting together a nice program to attract people. So and I think people are really like eager to attend like an in-person meeting.
We were trying to engage as much of the neuroscientific community as possible. And so we were looking to have as wide a range of scientific disciplines being represented at FENS across the plenaries, the symposia and special interest events that we could possibly have, so we could attract the broadest range of neuroscientists to actually come to Paris in person.
The forum is going to be the largest neuroscience meeting in Europe ever, and also the largest, I think, worldwide in the past 3 years. So it was really, people were really, like as I said before, eager. They really wanted to meet in person and in Paris, and so we are very happy that it's going to be very successful.
I'm particularly excited about a brand new collaboration that we forged this year with the European Psychiatric Association. And so we've got a special event going on the Saturday before the actual opening ceremony Saturday afternoon, which will bring together clinicians and neuroscientists to have a dialogue. And so this is the first time we've done this, and it's going to be all around how the brain-body interface can guide new treatments for psychiatric disorders. And so I'm really excited about having that event to actually bring the neuroscientists and clinicians together. Some other things I'm interested in really attending is, I think I'm correct in saying this is for the first time, we've got this open theatre. And so they're getting lots of different people in to talk about different aspects of science. And some of them are going to be the actual scientists who've been in symposia or given plenaries to try and bring them together to create more dialogue. So I think a lot of the sort of aim of this FENS has been to really promote dialogue outside of just listening to people's talks. And so there's some coffee morning sessions that start at 8, just for half an hour, where they're going to be talking in one case about psychedelics, because psychedelics are now quite an interesting treatment for depression, but they're trying to tease out whether the psychedelic treatment effects are the same or different from the psychedelic sort of hallucinatory effects that we're all very familiar with or know about, not necessarily in person. So there's going to be one on psychedelics. They've got symposium speakers and one of our plenary speakers talking together at that. And then there's another one on gut-brain interactions that they're going to have. It's an open theatre, so it's an open arena, but you will all have the headphones on, so you can all listen and take part in this sort of interactive discussion forum. And so it's going to be kind of chairs on a stage, people chatting in a sort of natural cafe environment, and then the audience can also ask questions and hear what the sort of interactions are between the scientists that are there giving some of the talks, but also for the audience to be able to participate as well, the other scientists who are interested in that topic.
Obviously, one of the main contribution of the Old Society Committee was also to organize some non-scientific events. So people, they go to meeting not only just for the science, they also want to meet. I think there will be some very new and interesting event. In particular, at the opening ceremony, we're going to have very nice live show mixing art and science and video. And that should be really a very nice event. And I think people, they really should attend this event because it's going to be amazing. I've seen already part of it. We put a teaser on Twitter and it's really great.
Has to do with the complexity of the brain and why sometimes people are perfectly normal and boring, and sometimes they flower and burst out and then collapse.
Mais la grande joie, c'est de suivre ce qui se passe. Parce que la science, c'est quelque chose, c'est une communauté.
And I think also people, they should also go to the meeting to attend also the posters. We have more than 4,000 posters at the meeting, which is really amazing. Like 50% of people, they present a poster. And again, it's a chance. There are 70 countries that are represented, more than 70 countries. So it's really like, although it's a European forum, it's really a world event. So I think it's going to be great to be able to present now the data in person to people from all over the world. So it should be great. So I think I'm really happy that it was also a huge success, also in terms of poster presentation.
So I'm about to meet two prize winners because one of the events today was the FKNE Mentoring and Thesis Prize Awards, and I'm just going to find out what they're all about and meet the prize winners.
So I'm Celine Gilbert. I'm FENS Kavli Network of Excellence Scholar, and I was the chair of the FENS Kavli Network of Excellence Mentoring Prize. The Mentoring Prize is awarded for outstanding contributions in motivating, encouraging and facilitating the academic and professional development of young neuroscientists. And this year, the award went to Professor Vanja Kovic.
Well, congratulations, Vanja, and it's great to have you here right now. Can you just tell? So first of all, this is what you always ask an award winner. How do you feel?
It was pretty much disbelief, not necessarily today, because today I knew that I'm going to get it. But in general, this whole process, I didn't believe that I'm going to get it. And normally, I really tend to inspire my students, but this time I was the one where I got inspired by them, where they actually decided to nominate.
So you've won the Mentoring Prize. Can you just tell us how that came about?
It came about by my students deciding to recognize my work so far, I would say. So 21 of them wrote letters of support to say that I'm worthy of this prize. And I can tell you that I read them only once and didn't touch them since then because they're really full of emotion and everything, and I'm so grateful and beyond the words, because as a professor I think this is the best prize ever that you can get, because being recognized by your students is something that you can't actually easily trick or buy or so on. It's such a fair and honest relationship, and for that reason I love it, and I really want to thank them very much for nominating me.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
So now I'm with Maytel Oren.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm also part of the FENS Kavli Network of Excellence, and I was the chair of the selection committee for the Best Thesis Award that we handed out this year. And I must say there was a very large number of applicants, 64 applications, outstanding theses, and out of all of them, only one stood out, and that's Dr. Celia Laco, that is here with us also.
Thank you. And Celia, big congratulations to you. Can you just tell us about your thesis? What was it and why did it win a prize?
Yes, thank you so much. So my thesis was centered on the relationship between sleep and maybe one of the most important human skills, so creativity. So I was particularly interested in one sleep stage that we all experience on our way to sleep, which is the sleep onset period. And so my work allowed to show that this sleep onset period constitutes a doorway into creativity. So I first showed that patients with narcolepsy who suffer from a sleep disorder that is characterized by excessive daytime sleepiness possess a greater creativity compared to the general population. And then I confirmed this link between sleep onset and creativity in healthy subjects. So I showed that a single minute of sleep onset was sufficient to triple the probability of solving a problem compared to wakefulness. So it's basically really trying to provide a way of summoning our creative muse at will and better understanding the mechanism underlying creative inspiration.
Well, congratulations again, and thank you very much for talking to us. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the Actually, let me ask you: is there anything else going on that you're really looking forward to?
Well, I have to look at all the program because I've seen that it's very crowded, like from 8 to 8 actually every day. But just right here, like there is a sleep sessions I would like to attend to look at like all the news on sleep research. But like more generally, I would like to look at on their neuroscience research that is going on, because most of the time I'm just focused on my sleep research. So that's really like an opportunity to look at what is going on right now.
Okay, enjoy the rest of the event. And here's Flavio, who's organising the networking event. So just tell us what the FENS Kavli networking event is all about.
Yes, so I'm Flavio Donato, and I am the chair of the FENS Kavli Network of Excellence. And we're a group of 30 young researchers based in Europe who would like to come together to discuss about science, but also about advocate for more equity, inclusion, diversity, mentoring, the importance of outreach with society, and the importance of advancing the position of young researchers within organizing and governing body of European research. And so in these efforts, we are organizing the mentoring and the PhD thesis prize as a way to recognize the special bonds that is created between mentors and mentees, and the special relationship that there is between two curious and eager minds when they tackle one important project. And I'm very excited by the fact that the prizes are getting more and more attention. This year we had the all-time record number of applications from PhD students, so I encourage everyone for the next call to submit their thesis, to submit a nomination for their mentors to actually keep the tradition going.
Flavio, thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Now, an important lecture is being given today by Michael Schwartz. It's the FENS EJN Award, and she is talking all about immunotherapy to beat Alzheimer's disease and the treatment of neurodegenerative diseases. And we were able to catch up with her a little while ago, and she explained the essence of her work.
We started with basic science. Basic question: is the brain, has the brain given up the opportunity to be assisted by the immune system for its lifelong brain maintenance and repair? And back then, in 1998, we discovered for the first time that bone marrow-derived macrophages are needed for brain repair. At that time, it was very puzzling because 10% on the average of the cells in the CNS are microglia that are also myeloid cells. And the question was, why do we need more myeloid cells if the brain is so rich with myeloid cells? So this was following injury. Over the years, when we understood that healthy brain plasticity is dependent on the immune system, we were looking to see where within the brain territory there are immune cells in the case of healthy brain, because we saw that cognitive ability and function of the brain are dependent on the T cell and macrophages, but we don't see T cell in healthy brain parenchyma. And we were looking for niches that can host immune cells in healthy brain. And over the years, these niches were discovered by us and by others, mainly by Jonathan Kipnis, who was a former graduate student in my lab. And we found that such niches are in the brain CSF barrier, in other words, in the choroid plexus epithelium, and in the meninges. So in the stroma of the blood CSF barrier, we found T cell in healthy brain. And in the meninges, it was found that there are T cells in the healthy brain. So we found that there are niches outside the brain parenchyma that serve as niches for immune cells to support the brain. And then we ask ourselves, if this is the case, is this the site of communication between the brain and the immune system? And we found indeed that this is the case. And in 2014, we published a paper in Science showing that in aging, this communication between the brain and the circulation, when it comes to the blood CSF barrier, specifically the choroid plexus epithelium, is impaired. So taking together that we need macrophages for repair, we need communication between the circulation and the brain within the blood CSF barrier that is impaired in aging, we thought that maybe this is the case also in Alzheimer, because Alzheimer, the higher risk factor is aging. So indeed, we went to Alzheimer and we found the communication between the brain and the circulation is impaired. Over the years, many groups discovered that if you can bring more macrophages to the brain, they will benefit fighting against Alzheimer. So we thought that if we need macrophages and the communication is impaired, maybe if we restore the communication, we will be in a better place. So that's how we came to the Alzheimer.
There's a fascinating item that's caught my eye. Well, all the items in the program look really, really interesting, but the one I'm looking at the moment involves a multisensory experience. It involves the art of Salvador Dali. It involves synesthesia. And I'm intrigued. We're going to hear about it later tonight, but I'm going to get a preview and I'm going to talk to the two people involved right now.
So my name is Mads Haar. I'm an associate professor at Trinity College in Dublin in the School of Computer Science and Statistics, and I also serve as CEO and creative director of Haunted Planet Studios, which is a serious game development company also based in Dublin, Ireland.
I'm Dr. Svetlana Rudenko. I'm concert pianist, composer. My research is on cognitive musicology and synesthesia. I have a lot of collaborations with other synesthetes, and I'm former postdoc at the Technological University of Dublin.
So the app that we're launching tonight for Android and iOS is a geolocative music and art experience. It's based on paintings by Salvador Dali that he was commissioned in 1969 to do for Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And what we did for this app is we took the paintings that Dali made, and Svetlana composed music on them, and then we have located those combined music art encounters in a park near the FENS site, the park Georges Brassens, which is about 10 minutes away. So you can download the app for free, you can go to the park and you can experience the art and music together.
So for me, music always was visual. If I play as a pianist, so for me it has sound, has smells, it has visual projection. And so recently I started to compose on art, and I feel that the shapes and color palettes of visual art triggers in me some music language, and I organize it in musical texture and genre to convey emotional character, what I see in art.
So you're saying you yourself are what we would call a synesthete.
Yes. But it's musical space synesthesia. I don't see colors, but there's more than 80 types of synesthesia, and I do have emotional perception of color, which associated with me with sounds and certain keys. So, and as well, musical space synesthesia helps me in performance, because visual projection in the mind's eye gives me certain organization of time and dynamic, and the exceptional virtuosity and effortless playing, which I can actually teach my students as well.
And what will happen when people come to see? What are you using this evening's event for?
It will be like a lecture, okay? So we introduce augmented reality technology, how to navigate buttons, to see radar mode or augmented see mode, and how to find the images in location. And then I will talk about the methodology of compositional process on art and give samples of music, so people will see and hear what is it about, the app. And they can experience it in the local park near FENS, here, 10 minutes walk.
So we're really going to introduce this new type of app. There's very few apps like this in existence. This is actually our third one, and nobody else is making these apps. So we're going to use the event to show people what the app is and sort of help them start on this completely new type of experience.
So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this podcast and that it's given you some flavour of the many, many things that are going on here. Don't forget to join us for tomorrow's podcast. Have yourselves a very good evening. From the FENS 2022 Forum, Day 1 at the Paris Conference Centre. Goodbye for now.
This podcast was presented by Malcolm Love with some interviews by Daniela Dominguez, Pranav Chintamani Joshi, and Armel Rancillac. It was produced for the FENS Forum 2022 by Solid Gold Hats.